And we are live. Welcome back, nerds and turds, to another live stream repair. Sorry for being gone the past few days. I'd been overhauling my whole network, got new access points, new gateway router, replaced all the switches. I still haven't redone any of the wiring. I've still got Cat 5 running everywhere. I need to redo it all with Cat 6, but it took me long enough to get to this point, and honestly everything has improved so much up to this point with that much work, so I said screw it, let's get our HomePods fixed up. We've been putting them off for long enough, and here we are. We already reached out to Tim to let them know that it's here and we're just about to get started, so let's crack this open. And get this box. Hey, just you wait. Just like being a nerd used to not be cool and now it is, I'm calling it now. Being a turd may not be cool now, but one day it very well may be. Also, welcome to the stream, Mike. Welcome back. So we've got a note in here. It just looks like a printout of our emails, and then a very nicely packed HomePod. I always encourage people to pack these as best as they can with what they've got. You don't need to go balls to the wall like this, but this definitely pretty much all but guarantees that you won't have any problems. Okay, so especially with no power, we want to start things off by double checking our symptoms with a known good power cable. It's plugged into our kilowatt meter over here on the bottom left. So let's see how much power it's drawing from the wall, which will give us a good guess as to what's going on inside. Alright, yep, no signs of life there. And actually, 0 watts of power draw at the wall. Nothing. Okay, so in reading back at Tim's emails, they do say nothing is getting warm on the outside. Where I lived, we didn't have the best power to the house. So the fact that we've got 0 watts of power draw here, unlike the usual 3 to 7 watts of power draw, with 0 watts of power draw, that tells me it's not the diode that's shorting out. That would pull power. Instead, this is probably the lesser common fuse having blown in the power supply. So, let's get this taken apart and find out. We're going to start by cutting through the adhesive that's holding this top down. As I've said many times in past live streams, we're not prying this layer off. We're just cutting through the adhesive a few times until it basically pops off on its own. And doing that and keeping the tool level with the top here as we do so is going to minimize or prevent outright any damage from being done to these. And you can get away with some amount of scratching to the bottom of these. It's not to the end of the world. There's a few layers. So, and even if you scratch through all of those, it would only show up on the white ones. So the black ones can be a little more forgiving. And if it does show through, you can fill it in with a little bit of Sharpie. With the white ones, I've heard people use whiteout. Okay. We're going to get that display out next. We just use the metal tool to start the gap. It makes it a lot easier. And then we actually pry it up with a plastic tool. So that way we don't scratch things up. Not the end of the world if you scratch up this plastic frame here. You're never going to see it. It's not going to affect anything. But anywhere we can efficiently do the cleanest job possible, that's what we're going to do. Mid frame out, logic board out, easy peasy. We're gonna get some rubbing alcohol in there to make prying this basket up a little easier. After we get the screws out, we're just gonna put it in there now so that way it can soak into that glue in the basket while we work on the rest of this. Let me inform the Discord nerds that we are also live. Okay. Easy peasy. Hello, Martin. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Oh. Is that bent? It is bent. I've never seen it bend that way before. Huh. We'll have to check and see if that still seals fine when we put this all back together. all of these screws are bent. That one wasn't. That one wasn't. Okay, so like 3 of those screws out of 6 were bent. That's strange. Considering how well this was packed. And ironically, me just making the comment, what the heck? Whoa, no, no, no. No way. There's your problem. That's the power connector that goes from the side of the pod from your wall into the power supply, and it's just completely... No one's been in here. That just completely flew off on its own. And we've got a component right here that's also cracked. Right there. Which corresponds with some damage that I'm seeing now on the bottom of the woofer. So the question is, wow, no, even the microphone in here is like, the threads for this are destroyed. The microphone's coming off over here. Never seen that before. Who wants to bet if we just drop a new power supply in this, it'll fire right up? Let's get that broken connector off of here. And honestly, I don't feel like rebuilding all of that on this power supply because I've got so damn many of these power supplies already. And we are trying to be efficient with our time here. So let's get this power supply out since it's going to need a new connector put on it. Here is another good power supply. Oh goodness. Okay, I see more damage. We've got a crack in our tweeter down here. So honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna put their, assuming their stuff even works, if we can get it all working, we will put their guts into another shell because, again, it's more efficient for us with how many of these that we've got sitting around to just put their parts into another shell as opposed to taking everything else that's necessary apart to replace just this one tweeter and potentially more. If that one's damaged, who knows whatever caused all this other physical damage might have shaken internal parts of the other tweeters loose. That should not be doing that. So, and there's nothing that should be rattling around. So, Interesting. This is why we, I believe we give price ranges in all of our estimates. We do have plenty of parts to cover most of the surprise scenarios like this. We've got a cracked ring here too. So this poor thing went through something fierce. What I want to see though is, before we spend any more time on this, is if their parts even work. So I've got another power supply here. We're just going to plug that in, get their logic board and their display, which honestly I'm not sure if I trust. But we're going to give it a go. Hello, Sophie. Welcome to the stream. Woo! That was something fierce. Oh boy. What happened now? I hope, honestly, I would rather that be the power supply than the amplifier. Let's hope it was the power supply. Oh no. No, that cap's loose. Oh geez. Oh, this is This is going to be a lot more work than I originally thought, and that's not including whatever it is that we just did now. Probably just blew the fuse in my power supply. Nope, fuse is still good. It's common enough to be listed under the common issues on my website, nixfix.com, for subwoofers to be blown out. It'd be pretty obvious though. You'd know, it'd be noticeable. I'm kind of nervous. Oh yeah, and that cap's even dented in too. Oh boy. Alright, I think the best course of action is going to be to reach out to Tim, unless they're watching with us right now. And just see, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot that needs to get replaced here. We can probably get it working with what they've got. As long as the logic board still works, really, that's what we care about most. But this is quite a lot going on here. Oh yeah, if one of you if you guys wanna take a peek at the playback and see what where that came from. The primary reason for the subwoofer to blow out, there's a few reasons, but again, I'll point you to the website nixfix.com because I've beaten that horse to death a lot. and the website should do that some justice. And I'm sure I'm gonna mess something up here if I try to explain it while we're trying to get this apart. Okay, so yeah, first problem, that is loose and dented. The board is bent right here. Man, the board is kind of bent all over. It's the big transistor from the one over to the loose one. It happened at 5:30, 6 o'clock, which I think there's the power connector, and we had it like that. So you're saying 5, 6 o'clock, so like right over here. But everything looks okay over here. Well, it looks can be deceiving too. It might have come from the cap itself too being loose. I'm not sure. Okay. We're gonna take a break on this one and move on to another one because I'm going to need to get the parts together to fix potentially everything on this. And also see if Tim's okay with the estimate that we gave them. So most repairs are around $60 to $90. $60 for best case scenario. Let's say it just needed a new diode. $90 for worst case scenarios. Let's say broken plastic pieces need to be replaced. Subwoofers need to be bent back together or replaced. Amps need to be repaired with multiple parts or replaced. Yeah, and we're getting pretty close to that. It's still repairable, I think. Like I said, as long as our logic board works, but I don't have the parts around at the moment to knock this one out, and I'm still a little nervous about working on this one with it being bent, and I want to review the playback and see where that spark came from and play with that a little more. So, it kind of sounded like a capacitor discharging too. Yeah, and we've got a crack in the power supply frame in the one that it came with. So there was a pretty significant drop that this poor little pod went through. Okay. For now, we're going to put everything away maybe get a better idea of what happened to this thing, because that's bad power in your house won't cause that. Yeah, there's a crack in one of the tweeters, and you can hear it. You can hear if it's not the cracked one. There's definitely at least one other one that's broken loose in there. So, oh wow. Oh, too bad there wasn't a camera pointed at that. That was a nice shot. We're going to put our screws away for now. Grab the next repair. We're going to talk to Tim, see maybe if they know any better what happened to this thing, and if they're okay with the higher end of the estimate cost that we gave them before we dive into all of that. Better safe than sorry. Especially when you're dealing with other people's money, to get the just to be super clear and get the A-OK with things before you proceed. If they end up costing more than what you were originally estimated, even if you're giving them an estimate range, I feel like it's best just to get that extra A-OK. And you never know. I've done that a couple of times in the past. Things have ended up costing more than we originally estimated, and sometimes people will have actually, by the time I've gotten it, they will have bought like a second gen or replaced it or changed their mind or something, and they just want me to keep it, which is great because we could always use the parts. But I always really hope that we get them working and back to where they came from. I, as do many others, still feel that the first gen sounds better than the second gen. So I feel like there will always be, for as long as they still function as AirPlay speakers, there will always be some demand for repairing and maintaining them. We'll be here for it. Okay, this one comes from Martin. Not the same Martin in the chat with us today, but a different Martin. Let's see what they've got in store for us. Nice, no power. Okay, this one sounds pretty typical, actually. I came across your site from a YouTube repair video. My HomePod doesn't power up, it gets warm, draws 6.5 watts of power. Cool. So, sounds pretty straightforward. Like we've probably got a common dead diode issue here. I was going to try to reuse that, but oops. It'll get repurposed as packing material, that's okay. Nice, I like when people tie up the cables. It always makes it easier for everyone. Alright, here we are. Oh, Let me go grab something really quick. I have to rant about this. I do not shop on Amazon very often because I kind of hate it. Or I hate a lot of things about it, but we won't get into it. I bought an RTX 3060 graphics card for my wife, which is honestly like the first time that I've bought like a brand new piece of PC hardware, like gaming hardware for myself, let alone anybody else, in quite a long time. I have trust issues. So I finally spent the money on Amazon, found a RTX 3060 12 gig for, it was like $330 or something like that, which seemed like a pretty good deal, but not an unrealistic deal. So snagged that, thought I was getting it directly from Amazon. Didn't even notice that I wasn't. I was getting it from like Best Tree Technology or something like that. And I honestly, again, I didn't even realize that until I got what I got the next day. Needless to say, this is the first time this has happened to me. I reached out to their support, and of course they have no problem with me diddling around with returning this thing. It's going to cost me more in the gas than this thing is worth to return it. And then I have to wait for them to get it back and issue a refund, and then I have to wait for the refund to get funded by my card issuer in bank or whatever, financial institution. That's what they call it. So that's great. So I looked at my order history just to make sure I wasn't being stupid, or that I wasn't just scammed or anything obviously or blatantly. Like I didn't like misread the description of something I was buying or something. Nope, it was a legitimate RTX 3060. But I had bought it from a seller, Best Tree Technologies, and I looked at their seller profile, and of course they have recent feedback of people complaining about the same thing. So, yeah, that just happened today, so I've got to return that and wait for the money to come back, but didn't want to deal with that. That's okay. At least there's a process to deal with that. What's really scary is if you go to the seller profile, we totally didn't even change the name or let them know this is here. What's messed up with my keyboard's wigging out. Stop. Okay. As I was saying, what was really messed up was the fact that when you go to the seller profile, they have like a 90 to 95% seller rating. So at a glance, they look totally fine and legit. But then you actually have to like sort the reviews by most recent. To find people that have been getting scammed by them. So even if I had clicked their seller name and done a glance at their reviews and overall feedback, I would have been duped. So, boy, I don't even know what the real lesson here is. Don't buy from Amazon, because I mean, expecting the average person to. I don't know. Yeah, you should be doing due diligence especially when you're spending this much money on something. But at the same time, the average person. I mean, I'm an average person. I fell for it. And gotta remember, there's a lot of less than average and more than average people too. I'm sure they're all getting fooled by it just the same. Oh, you guys don't even know what that thing is. It's a screen protector for the lenses on an iPhone. It's not even it's not even an electronic device. It's literally a screen protector for your freaking we didn't even check the symptoms on this thing. Dang it. Let's just double check. Yep. 4 to 6 watts, no response. Yeah, they sent me a cheap 50-cent screen protector. Oh yeah, no, I've already done all of that. Contacted my card issuer and everything. When I talked to Amazon support about it, of course, they totally didn't care to do anything to help about like reporting the seller or anything, and they were really just concerned with me returning the 50-cent screen protector. That was their top concern. That was their main concern every time I reached out to them, was like, all right, we need to make sure that you return this thing so that way we can give you your money back. Cool. You know, I could actually use it. But they're going to make me return the damn thing. And I'm kind of worried that I'm going to return it and then they're going to get it back and be like, you didn't send a graphics card back. You're not getting a refund. And that's when I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to file a chargeback. I hate dealing with that. It seems like anytime I buy anything online, it's just cursed. Which is why today's video is sponsored by... Oh, God. I was bamboozled. I was bamboozled, boys. I fell for it. They got me. I mean, I'm still gonna get my money back, but still a hassle. Oh boy. Speaking of scams, there was this time a few years ago when my wife and I almost got sucked into an MLM, or a multi-level marketing scam. My wife was working at the time a job as a barista at a coffee bar over on the Microsoft campus. And one of the blue badge, I think they're called, Microsoft Direct employees approaches my wife while she's doing her barista work and is like, blah blah blah, trying to strike up a conversation and, you know, make friends with her. And then she's like, oh, you guys should like meet up with me and this other person and we should like talk about like business opportunities and stuff, because at the time my wife and I were like totally hardcore into like wanting to start our own, or like fantasizing a bit about starting our own businesses, as many people were. And man, we ended up meeting them for lunch somewhere and talking to them, and they wanted us to buy this book and come down to this event that you have to pay into, and they wanted to they like broke out a notepad and started writing out all these like different, you know, potential strategies and ways that they make money, and it was literally like pretty much drawing out pyramids. And that's when I kind of realized what was going on, and I you know, my wife and I realized what was going on, and we politely declined along with any further communication over Telegram. And they continued to insist that we are making a mistake and that we should definitely take them up on their offers and sign up for these events where they and also they were going to get us directly in touch with these like entrepreneurs that have like all this money that they're like investing into with other people, and like we were gonna get all this money invested in us to open up our own businesses, because my wife wanted to run her own coffee shop and like nail bar, or coffee bar and nail shop. I wanted to do, you know, like electronics repair. This was before HomePods were a thing. I wanted to just do a regular electronics repair and like maybe car mechanic stuff, you know, basic things. Just a general fix-it shop. Be kind of like a unique setup. And so, you know, a couple of people walk up to you saying that they know a couple of people and they think we're worthy of some investing. You get a little excited, especially when you haven't actually been through anything like that before. You don't know real world recognizing those red flags as quickly yet. Kind of a really wild and surreal experience looking back. We were straight up being targeted into being pulled into an MLM, a giant scam. I don't even remember what it was, the name of it anymore. I'd have to look up my Reddit. I think I put up like a Reddit post about it when it happened a few years ago. Oh, wow. Still does not feel real that any of that happened. We were so close to getting pulled into that. Oh, no, hey, no worries, Seth. You're not distracting. I grew up with 2 younger sisters. I'm really good at tuning other people out. I'm just kidding. I kid. Yeah, I guess I should specify. I don't buy off Amazon very often. I am an eBay addict. I will say that, and I do not get scammed on eBay very often. But, geez, and I feel like I'm really good at identifying, obvious scams and bad listings on eBay. But when it comes to Amazon, I don't know. It's like my brain just absolutely smooths over. I don't know if that's like by design or what, man. Let's see what we've got going on here. Do we have a dead diode? Yes, we do. Alright, looks like we've got an easy repair on us here. Yeah, one can't type, the other one can't read. Martin is the only one paying attention here. I realized that after I said that, I was like, he said dictating, not distracting. Alright, let's get our heat on. Get this diode replaced. Listen, okay. I know good at speak. I good at fix board. Oh yeah, Curiosity. 1748K for a date code. Add that one to the board. Hey, it's okay. It's Spaghetti Sunday. Okay. No, that didn't, we didn't put that in correctly. There we go. Doesn't matter, we're gonna grab it in another second anyways. Here we go. Excellent. Let's give this a chance to cool off and we will see what we're dealing with here. Thank you for the super chat, Martin. Whoa. I'm going to have to print that and put it up on my wall. Someone beat you to the first one, but that one's cool. I haven't seen that. How do I save this? How do I save and print it? I'm just going to print screen. Control. Print screen. Oh, come on. It shows everything but the actual chat. That's sad. What about... There we go. I got it. Okay. Let's see if this works. Got a logic cable in there. power supply. Screw that in. It's not necessary, but I strongly suggest it because without the screws, if you're testing it on the, like just on a table here out of the pod, it's very easy for that power supply to pop out in action, and you'll have a very bad time. Listen, okay, I'm proud. Let me be proud. We got a super chat. And we've got power. Yeah! Mom, get the camera! I got a super chat! No one's home, I can be loud. Whoa, no one's home, I can be loud. We've got bass, and we've got a pretty healthy looking offset here too at around 2 millivolts. So, let's pop this back together and see how many more we can knock out before wifey gets home from her walk with kiddo. Okay. The HomePod intercom trick? Okay. You're in luck because I've got, you're excused, all of the HomePods in my office room here set up now too. So, allow us to... Cool, I don't care about the Airpods case. Let me intercom. I love it. I love it. I hope, honestly, I hope they never fix that. It'll be a sad day when they do, because it always puts the wife and the kid in a good mood. Oh yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what I got for my home networking. So, like I said earlier, of course, I've got Cat 6 cable to redo all the wiring. Everything that I can is wired Ethernet. If I can help it, I refuse to use the Wi-Fi, because Ethernet's always just going to be more stable and reliable. It may not be as fast with Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 7, but anyways. So Cat 6 throughout the house, and then I replaced my Turris Omnia router with a Ubiquiti Dream Machine Special Edition. And then I replaced the old, this is it's like a 10 or 15-year-old Dell PowerEdge switch in our living room and my server room with a 24-port and 16-port PoE Plus Ubiquiti switches. And, oh man, even just like the cameras on for my security system, I've got monitors in most of the rooms of the house with all of them up so I can watch or see what, any given loud noise was coming from outside. And even those, the feeds on all of them were just noticeably better and more stable. And the amount of insights and things that I can see. Okay, so I had the Turrisomnia. It ran OpenWRT, so that said, I was able to put anything I wanted to on there, and it was really as open and customizable as you want to be. But that's a double-edged sword. There's a lot to wrap your head around. There's a lot that you need to learn how to configure on your own. And Ubiquiti does a very good job of making all of that very user-friendly. And my mind was honestly pretty blown at how easy it was to just plug everything in, set it up, and now I'm getting incredibly useful data and insights into my home network. I'm also really stoked because with my Dream Machine gateway, I'm able to use my Quantum Fiber internet connection as my primary internet, and then set up my Comcast internet connection as my failover, or load balance. If I want, I can do any sort of amount of split, from 99 to 1, all the way to 199 or whatever you want to split it up as. Which you can, again, do on the Turrisomnia with OpenWRT using a package called MWAN. But I tried, and it's just, I'm not... It's hard. It's difficult. I don't know. I couldn't get it working, and like that could be me not doing something right, or that could be something being broken. And yeah, I'm gonna keep the Turrisomnia for playing around with and dicking around with as a personal hobby. But as far as using it as my primary home router, sayonara. Happy to be done with it. So that takes care of all of the wired infrastructure and backbone. And then as for Wi-Fi, I grabbed 2 Unify U6 enterprise access points. I had previously tried their U6 Pros and was pretty disappointed with their throughput and performance, but the U6 Enterprises, I am very happy with those. And yeah, it seems like even with these access points, I can only get about 10 to 15 HomePods playing back simultaneously per access point before it starts to really degrade the Wi-Fi performance for all of the clients on the network, and I start having issues with the HomePods playing back reliably. So about 10 to 15 is the max to keep everything stable and reliable for everything, even with the U6 Enterprise access points. So I've got 2 of those to split the load up. And also because, pretty much half of the HomePods are split up between each half of the house. So it made a lot of sense to get 2 access points and put each access point in each, the first third of the house and the second third of the house, as opposed to opposite ends of the house. I kind of want to, and of course I don't mesh them together. There's no reason to mesh them together because the access points both have wired backbones. So I think wireless mesh access points tend to introduce more potential problems than solutions that they solve reliably. That said, it does seem to work pretty well for a lot of people. But I did see a lot of praise about Ubiquiti's auto meshing, where if the wireless backhaul for one access point does go down, it will automatically start meshing with the nearest next access point for a seamless failover. So I'm okay with that. That's all right. But yeah, that is the network overhaul, and it was much needed. Save for the router that I was using, which should have been better than I was experiencing, but maybe that was a personal limitation. Either way, Everything else on my home network really needed to be replaced. It's been stuff that I've been moving along with me from house to house for pretty much the past 6 to 8 years. And when I got it 6 to 8 years ago, even then it was second, third, fourth hand e-waste, essentially. So it's been a miracle, really, that everything that I've got here has been working as well as it has. Okay, so instead of getting your friends to yell back and forth at each other in the house, you need to get your friends phones. Obviously, you need to get a PBX and you need to wire everything up, but we did this in one of our houses before, when I lived with a bunch of roommates. One of our friends had got his hands on a PBX and a whole bunch of office phones. And he put one in everyone's room, and of course, insanity ensued. All sorts of shenanigans. People intercomming each other, ridiculous music, and other things at all sorts of ridiculous times. I would be able to show you guys if Vine was still around. Unfortunately, that died. And my backups of it, along with it, nowhere to be found. I had backups of that stuff, and I still can't find any of them. I'm sad. And then part of the problem, too, is I don't even think I was able to get a full original backup when they started shutting down. That never worked right. These are young kids. Oh, there are young kids, so no phones. All the more reason to start them off on it. Get them learning on it. That'd be fun. Maybe one of them takes up an interest in it and gets into phones and networking. When I get my own house, that's how I'm going to set it up. Sure, each room of the house is going to have its own HomePod or 10 or 12 or so, but each room will also have its own phone, so that way we can bug each other that way if and when the HomePods act up. Oh, I am so religiously wired over wireless that I am using a Galaxy Note 8 Android phone as the camera for the 24/7 D-Brick live stream over at the Nick's Bricks YouTube channel. But even with that, it's not on Wi-Fi. I've got a USB-C to Ethernet adapter for that, so that way it's constantly using the Ethernet. So that way, obviously I'm not destroying my Wi-Fi network for a ridiculous 24/7 live stream. And B, it's just going to be more reliable. Enterprise grade wireless brand new access points or not, Ethernet's going to give you a more reliable and consistent experience. So that's that. close to this one being done. Oh, I totally forgot. We are done repairing this thing. We are putting it back together. Okay, the final piece. Okay, I'm gonna need another beer before we even try this thing, because if it doesn't work, which I'm pretty sure it works just fine, I just don't want to think about that. It'll work. Be right back. Grab a drink, grab a bathroom, do something. Okay. Did it work? Yeah.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble.
All right. Cheers. Running out of room on the subwoofer here. All right. We've got 3 more that we got to try to get through. I don't think we're going to be able to get through them all, but we're going to try. Let's see. Let's pick on Kyle. Let's see what's going on with Kyle's HomePod here. We'll need to find the email so I can refresh my memory on what's wrong with Kyle's HomePod here. Starting over from the top, zooming out. Okay. Kyle's in. Let's see. Kyle's HomePod has No power. Alright, easy peasy. While I am opening their box up so we can take a look at their HomePod, I would like to remind you all that one like on not just this live stream, but any of my videos on the channel equals $1 that I put into the kids' college fund. So, fund my child's education, assuming she wants to go to college. Leave a like. I'll match each like with $1 into an account for her to use for college, or if she chooses not to go to college, she can invest with it, or I don't know. We'll see. Super chats, I gotta mention super chats do not count. Super chats go directly into my pocket. Okay. Let's get that off. We don't need anybody seeing that. Always got to check. Sometimes people put their name on the top of these, and we have totally not missed that when opening it. But we've learned. We check before we expose. Also, we gotta check and make sure, because, like, after that one thing that one person sent us that one time, man, we got lucky that we asked them before we just straight up opened the box on stream like we normally do. Because, who knows? And who knows if anybody will ever know what actually happened that day. But let's get their name up on the screen. This is no longer Martin. This is now Kyle. And let's let them know that we're working on it now. If Gmail, hello Gmail. Oh no. Oh no. Oh geez. Oh geez. Yep. I will have to reattach my files. That is understandable. Oh. Alright, email sent. Let's check our symptoms here. Alright, no power and 4 to 6 watts of power draw from the wall. So all appears to be pretty typical for a no power HomePod with a faulty diode inside, most likely. Well, let's get this taken apart and find out. School will cost over 500,000 by then. Yep, that's why I'm saving up now. I just noticed we've got a little bit of weird stuff on the logic board here. Not sure what that's about. It's only on one side. It doesn't look like corrosion or anything, or like a water damage. Just looks like weird manufacturing grime. Woofer's good. Okay, we are in. Same deal as before. 1746K on the diode, but still within the range that normally fails. Yes, indeed. Another dead diode. is that a one and done kind of hiccup kind of deal? I'll take it. That should do it. Let's see if this works. Be good. Yes! Nice. And another one with an excellent offset, good sounding bass, no power issues, ready to put back together. Put my sushi back. Oops, I forgot to zoom that one out. My bad. Anyways, let's get this put back together. And we'll see if we can knock out one or two more before wife and kiddo get back. I got a notification about 15 minutes ago that the Starbucks wallet balance was used, which means they made it to QFC, which means there's roughly 30 minutes to an hour left when I got the notification. So we've got about 15 to 30 minutes left, at least. Some very short drawstrings they gave us on this one. That's why I don't feel bad whenever I have to cut any of them during our repairs and they end up being a little short. They do it to us. Looks like we're wrapping up just in time for Wifo and Kiddo to get back, so we'll get this put together, sanity check it, and call it a stream. If we didn't get to your pod today, then stay tuned. We will obviously have another stream tomorrow, and we'll knock out the ones that we didn't get to today. Here we go.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Very good.
I'm having trouble.
Very good. All right, folks. We got everything we needed to, or at least that we could get to, fixed up today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I always encourage people to check out the website, nixfix.com, where I've got resources for doing your own repairs or reaching out to me to get it fixed for you here on the channel. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed.